Investigators have opened up an investigation after a car crashed into a local daycare, leaving a child injured. What we know right now is ahead.
And today's not too bad. We're starting off with some cloud coverage out there this morning, but this afternoon we see some sunshine, daytime highs 70s and 80s, a nice break in the pattern that we've had so far. We'll talk about it coming up.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful to be back.
A local food market ready to serve customers once again. We'll have more on their journey to rebuild after the Memorial Day tornadoes.
But first, the live look out in Bentonville. Good morning to you there. Thursday, May 1st. 5 News This Morning is now.
Covering news where you live. This is 5 News This Morning.
Well, good morning. We're so glad that you're here. Thanks for waking up with us on Channel 5 and 5 Plus. I feel like we're off to a great start. We have a bit of crazy weather the past couple of weeks, but I think things may be looking up.
Yeah, it's looking like May's off to a good start, Stephen.
Yeah, May, not too bad, at least the first day of it. Now, the rest of the month, we'll see what happens. More than likely, some more thunderstorms, but at least a break in the pattern for today. We are starting off with lots of cloud coverage, but later on this afternoon, I think we eventually see more and more of that sunshine. Current temperatures out there right now, not too bad. Starting off into those upper 50s and low 60s, 59 there in Bentonville, 61 in Fayetteville, 59 in Van Buren, 58 there in Alma, and 60 there in Charleston. So overall, not too bad of a morning. Just got to get past this cloud coverage this afternoon. Again, we see more of that sunshine. Northwest Arkansas the rest of the day today. Again, those daytime highs eventually going to warm up into those low to mid 70s. Pretty comfortable this afternoon. Winds remain pretty light out of the south, around 5 to 10 miles per hour across the river valley. I think a few of us will have a good chance of reaching up into those low 80s. Again, this afternoon should be much nicer than what we're starting off with this morning. Now, by the time we get to overnight tonight, really past midnight going into your Friday morning, additional thunderstorms will be possible. Most of the activity looks to remain south of I-40, but that morning commute tomorrow could be a bit annoying. Some scattered showers across northwest Arkansas, while some heavier rainfall across the river valley would be possible. Good news is that clears out by the time we get to our Friday afternoon. Severe risk for tonight remains low, but not zero. A few strong storms could be possible. Let's get a check of traffic out there this morning. Here's a live look out across I-49 there in Fayetteville. Good morning to you so far this morning. No accidents, no slowdowns. That morning commute looks great.
All right, we have some breaking news for you this morning here at 6:32, where police in Fayetteville are looking for a suspect that they say robbed a gas station in Fayetteville. Now, this is a live look of what's happening right now. You see a Fayetteville police cruiser there on scene. This was around 4 a.m., though, at the E-Z Mart when it happened on the corner of West Poplar and North Leverett.
Police say that the suspect could be wearing a black hooded sweater and blue jeans. Thankfully, no one was injured during this. Police are now urging the public to be cautious and contact police if you see that suspect.
And of course, stay right here on 5 News This Morning. We'll bring you any updates here throughout the show. And you can see they have police tape up right now. Looks like a couple of officers inside that store. Again, thankfully, no one injured. We're working to learn more, and we'll bring you more in just a few minutes. All right, we're going to start this morning with developing story out of Centerton.
Police say a child was rushed to the hospital with major injuries after a car crashed through a daycare. Centerton police say that they rushed to Little Martians Learning Center a little before 3 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon, after a female driver drove her car into a classroom at the daycare.
Police say the child who was taken to the hospital is in stable condition this morning. The Benton County Sheriff's Office Accident Reconstruction Team, as well as Centerton Police, are working now to determine the cause of the crash.
It looks like it was possibly a parent or guardian of a child that goes to the learning center. I don't know for sure if weather was a factor in the accident.
The Little Martian says that the center will be closed for the rest of the week. They also say that they're going to offer counseling services in the coming days.
Continuing coverage on a case out of Crawford County. Randall Worcester appeared in court on Wednesday. Prosecutors say he was involved in an altercation with 2 former deputies. You remember this video, which was back in 2022. Both of those former deputies pleaded guilty to depriving Worcester of his civil rights during the arrest. They're now serving prison sentences.
Randall is glad to see justice be performed with the federal courts, with the investigation and the prosecution of police officers who step over the line.
Now, Worcester himself is also charged in the altercation and facing several charges, including terroristic threatening and resisting arrest. In court this week, Worcester was given his jury trial date of June 23rd. His attorney, though, also waiting to receive the report for a competency exam done back in February to ensure he is fit to stand trial. The judge also said if a plea agreement can be worked out, that trial date will be replaced with a plea hearing.
Well, a former Benton County deputy has been sentenced after pleading guilty to stalking a coworker. Matthew Klein was arrested and charged with sexual assault in 2023 after inappropriate behavior was reported to the sheriff's office. They say Klein was fired less than 4 hours after the report. According to a probable cause affidavit, the assault was captured by a surveillance camera. After pleading guilty, Klein was sentenced to 120 days in jail, followed by 5 years of probation.
Well, the man handpicked by Governor Sanders for Secretary of State is planning his next move. Cole Jester has announced plans to run for state land commissioner. In a social media post, he vowed to further the state's energy economy and challenge foreign influence on the state. That election will be in 2026. Now, if Jester wins, he would go from roles overseeing election and business licensing to managing the state's waterways and then overseeing mineral rights. Well, after months of anticipation, a beloved local favorite is making a comeback. Cook's Natural Food Market officially reopening its doors, bringing back familiar faces to the community.
New this morning, 5 News reporter Rachel Williams and photojournalist Will Maxwell spoke to the owners about what it took to reopen their doors in less than a year.
It's a day many in the community have been waiting for after a temporary closure from the 2024 Memorial Day weekend tornadoes. Cook's Natural Food Market is back and better than ever.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful to be back. It's wonderful to help. You don't imagine how many customers trust us. So they come here for our knowledge.
And it's true. Customers like Ashley Varney have been loyal to the family-owned business since 2004. She says the main reason she comes here is because of the availability of local products.
Mainly bulk items, fresh goods, kefir, yogurt, really anything. If you need a specialty meat, they have a lot of that. As a consumer, I don't like having to use the big box stores and online if I want something that week, like wheat berries, bulk items. I love some of the stores in Fayetteville, but I would love to support and keep my dollars in Rogers.
During the months they were closed, the Cooks relied on selling their products on their website.
We have a little product that we saved that it was available, and of course when somebody called, we had a lot of customers calling and walking in here, so we steer them towards our website, and if not, to call us on the phone, and we were trying either to get the product or to tell them what we have available that is similar to what they were looking for.
We ordered online a lot, and I was actually just looking at something and I made my list. I was like, I can get that from Cooks today.
While this community staple is known for its fresh produce and natural supplements, it's the relationships with customers that leaves a lasting impact.
I've had so many people just extremely excited that we're back up and running, and we've missed all of our customers, and so for us it was like, they're back. We can finally interact with you again.
I know that if I need something, I can ask them, and that's a rarity these days. If you're hunting for something special and you know that it exists, you can ask them to order it. And that's the number one thing, that's what keeps me coming back, is needing a specialty.
In Rogers, covering news where you live, Rachel Williams, 5 News.
Well, the Cooks say they're planning an official grand reopening and 30-year anniversary ceremony at a later date.
But until then, you can shop at the store 6 days a week. Well, this morning, President Trump is urging patience as the U.S. economy shrank for the first time since the COVID-19 pandemic. The U.S. gross domestic product, factoring in inflation, shrank at an annual rate of 0.3% in the first 3 months of the year, fueled in part by businesses sprinting to buy imports before President Trump's tariffs kick in. Last night, in her first major speech since losing the election, former Vice President Kamala Harris called Trump's tariffs reckless.
Tariffs that, as I predicted, are clearly inviting a recession.
Well, however, Trump says former President Biden is to blame for the economic change.
Came in on January 20th. So this is Biden. And you could even say the next quarter is sort of Biden.
Meanwhile, the U.S. and Ukraine have struck a deal on rare earth minerals in that country, which are crucial for electronics and defense technology. following weeks of negotiations.
Attorneys for one of the two people killed during the mass shooting at Florida State University earlier this month are speaking out. 45-year-old Tyru Chaba, an executive for the campus food vendor, and 57-year-old dining services employee Robert Morales were both killed in the attack. The gunman opened fire around the student union before noon, April 17th. Now, Chaba leaves behind a wife and two children. Attorneys for his family are calling for full transparency and a thorough investigation into the tragedy.
My sincerest hope is that we're able to work together to make these families whole and provide whatever remedies possible without necessarily being antagonistic, without being adversarial.
Every day that they don't have basic answers to what happened is difficult for them.
The alleged gunman, the stepson of a local sheriff's deputy, was a junior at the university. He remains hospitalized after being shot in the jaw by police that day and has yet to be formally charged.